Hello, so let us look at some radian measures today. Alright, as you know, radian measures are another way for us to measure the angles. And in this case, what is the radian measure of a small angle formed by the hands of the clock at 7 o'clock? Now, then simply put, if we have something like this, our longer handle would have been, of course, way up there, and then shorter one would have been around here. Actually around here, 7 o'clock. So, in other words, this will be 6, this will be 7, and then here 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we are trying to look at this much of the angle. Now, what is that if you think about it? It's in fact 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 portions out of 12 portions, isn't it? So this will be 5 out of 12. But that same ratio has to be kept in terms of the radian measure of the angle. So why don't I call that as x maybe? But what is the radian measure of the entire circle? Yes, they will be equal to 2 pi. So we can set up this ratio and then try to calculate it. Then we end up getting 10 pi is equal to 12x, and divide by 12. Then x must be equal to 10 pi over 12 or 5 pi over 6. So therefore our answer will be choice 3. Now some of you guys might be wondering how to do this question in another way, such as this way. So I'm going to use the blue ink to do that. Some people might have noticed that since 360 degrees has been divided into 12 pieces, each portion would have been equal to 30 degrees. Now, so forth and so on. That means we have 5 of the 30 degrees, so we know that x is equal to 150 degrees. But we have to convert that into the radian measures. So we can do radian x over 150 degrees is equal to pi over 180 degrees in the same ratio. Then what we could have done was, this is another way of doing it. So first method is already done, but second method would have been finding the degree measure and then continue further from there. So here we get 180 x would have been equal to 150 pi. Divide by 180. Then we would have gotten x is equal to, a common factor seems to be the 30, so we get 5 pi over 6. Either way, we get that same answer. Alright, let's look at number 205. What is the radian measure of the angle whose measured? So let us try to look into this one. This basically means x, we are looking for the radian measure. So the formula that I'm trying to use is the radian measure over degree measure is equal to pi over 180. Now, if you use this one proportion, then we can go from radian to degrees or degrees to radian. So here I'm looking for the radian measure, so I put that as x over negative 420 must be equal to pi over 180. Now let's cross multiply. We end up getting 180x is equal to negative 420 pi over 180. Now, actually, we got to divide by 180. Sorry about that. Then 180 cancels out, and here we get x will be equal to, common factor seems to be 60 degrees. So if you cancel this one out, then we get negative 7, and here we get 3. So then we end up getting negative 7 pi over 3. So that becomes our answer, which is choice 1. Alright, let us look at number 206. What is the number of degrees? So we have 2 radian measures. So similarly, our proportion would have been, I'm going back to using the same proportion here, 2 over x. This time x is on the denominator because degree measure is what we're looking for, is equal to pi over 180. Now cross multiply, then we get pi x is equal to 360. So we just have to divide by pi. Then we end up getting x equals 360 over pi. And that becomes choice 2, choice 1. All right, let us look at number 207. We want to find the degree measure. So here we get 11 pi over 12 all over x must be equal to pi over 180. Now once again cross multiply, we get pi x is equal to, so 180 times 11 pi over 12. Now here we can divide by 12, then I believe we get 15. Now then 15 times, and then pi cancels out, then x equals simply 165. So we get 165 degrees. Let's look at number 208. To the nearest minute. So that means we need to use the calculator here. Here we get 3.45 over x is equal to pi over 180. Now, then we get pi x is equal to 3.45 times 180. Now, to get x, we just have to divide by pi, then x will be equal to 3.45 times 180 all over pi. Let's try to put that into calculator and see what happens. 3.45 times 180. Oops. And then divide by pi. Now, so that's what we end up getting. 197 will be the measure of the angle. So subtract 197. Then we're just getting the decimals, and then we can multiply that by 60 to get the minute. So if I have to pull that out, then our answer should be 197 degrees, and then we can round it up, so we end up getting 40 minutes. That will be our answer. All right, let's look at number 209. To the nearest tenth of a degree. So in this case, we're not going into the minute, we're just going to stay in the tenth of a degree. So we have 2.5 radian, so 2.5 over x will be equal to pi over 180. Then obviously we get pi x is equal to 2.5 times 180 and divide by pi. Then x is equal to, let's try to calculate that here. So here we get so 2.5 times 180 divided by pi. All right. So from here we get 143.2 degrees. There we go to the nearest tenth of a degree. All right. Let's look at number 210. Find to the nearest tenth of radian measure. So in this case, what we're going to be doing is x over 216 degrees is equal to pi over 180. So we just have to calculate that to the decimal, 216 pi. Then we can divide by 180. Divide by 180. So let's look at it. X equals. Here we have 216 times pi. Divide that by 180. Then here we get to the nearest tenth becomes 3.8 radian measure. Alright, that's it. I'll see you later. Bye bye.